Hello and welcome to Indices and Exponents lesson. In today's lesson, we are going to give basics of exponents and indices, basic rules that will help you solve further and harder questions. To begin with this, we will be using a ladder as you can see to the most right of this screen. This ladder is going to help us recognize what the rules are about. So basically, let us start with the first rule as you can see here. The first rule says a to the power of m times a to the power of m. We will use a character. This character is called Zena. This lady will help us understand what will happen in this case. So we have a multiplication between a to the power of n and a to the power of m. So Zena will be standing above the multiplication on the ladder that you can see here. In order to help you understand the rule, she will jump one step. Always remember this one step. So basically, she stands here, she will jump to the add. So what we will do to simplify this multiplication is that we will put 1a, as you can see, because we have common bases. So the answer will be a, and we will add the powers. Instead of multiply, one step down, it's add the powers. So a to the power of n plus m. Let's take an example. X squared times x to the power of 5. The answer is x to the power of 7 because we added the powers. Okay, let's take the second rule. A to the power of n divided by a to the power of m. As you can see here, so let us ask Zena to support us. She stands above the division. We call this a quotient rule, divide division rule. So she's standing above the division. She will jump one step down in order to support us. So she will go to the subtract, as you can see. So the powers will be subtracted. We keep the base and we have the power subtract. Let's take example. X to the power of 8 divided by x to the power of 2. So we will put x and now we will subtract the power. So the answer will be x to the power of 6. A to the power of n raised to the to m, as you can see here. So basically, where does Zena stand at this question or at this rule? She is standing above the power indices. She is standing here. She will jump one step down, so she will go to multiplication. So what will happen in terms of the powers raised to each other is that they will be multiplied by each other. Let's take an example. X to the power of 2 raised to the power of 3, because we will multiply powers when they are raised to each other. So it will become 2 times 3 is 6, x to the power of 6. Okay, so the ladder and Zena supported us in understanding the first three rules. However, for the fourth rule, actually, we will not use the ladder, but we don't like negatives and power. So what you will be doing whenever you see a negative sign inside the power, you should reflect it. You should remove and eliminate the negative, just reflect that power. What do I mean by this? Look at this one. A to the power of negative n, it is in the numerator. You will put it in the denominator and put 1 above. So basically, let's take this example. If you know this number, x to the power of negative 2, the answer will be 1 over x to the power of positive 2. So we remove the negative. How do we remove the negatives in powers or exponents? We simply put it down and it becomes positive. So 1 over x squared. Look at this one and let's understand it properly. 2 to the power of negative 1. If you look here, 2 to the power of negative 1, what does this mean? Okay, well, we will use the rule. It will become 1 over 2 to the power of positive 1. Now we know that 2 to the power of positive 1 is 2. So the answer, the final answer will become 1 over 2. Look, it's very simple for you to know the half. It's way easier than 2 to the power of negative 1. So we don't like negatives and powers. We always try to put them down. Okay, the fifth rule, which is very important, a to the power of 5 a to the power of 0 equals always 1, whatever a is. For example, if I give you 1 million, imagine how big is this number, and I put power of 0 on top, the answer will directly be simply 1. Whatever the number inside is big, it will always, if it's raised to 0, it will become 1. Okay? Let's have a look at the sixth rule, which is important. If you see two expressions multiplied by each other, then you need to distribute. We call it the distributive property. If these numbers are multiplied by each other inside the bracket, then the power will be distributed. Look at this example, 2x to the power of 3. Now this 3 is the power, it can be distributed over here, so the answer will become 2 to the power of 3, x to the power of 3. 2 to the power of 3, it's 2 times 2 times 2, which equals 8x cubed. This is the final answer, and the relationship is still multiplication between the 8 and x cubed. Same thing for division, a over b to the power of n. If you look here, this one is distributive, so the answer will be a to the power of n, b to the power of n. Let's take this example, x over 2 to the power of 4, so it will be x to the power of 4 because I distributed over 2 to the power of 4. 2 to the power of 4 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which equals 16. The final answer will become x to the power of 4 over 16. This is very simple, actually, and these are the basic rules of exponents and indices. Let's have a look at the examples now at this exercise, and I want you to pause my screen and try to solve it directly alone to check if you know how to solve it or not. But I will answer it for you quickly. xy cubed, the answer will be x cubed y cubed directly because it's distributive. Remember to pause my screen and try to solve number 2, 3, and 4. For number 2, again, I will use the distributive property. It will be distributed here. We use step by step. The first one will become x squared to the power of 3 times y squared to the power of 3. So now this is distributive again, and I have raised power to each other based on rule number 3. I will do x, 2 times 3 is 6, y to the power of 6. Same thing goes here. It will become, we will distribute the 3 over the 5 and the x. It will be 5 cubed x cubed over x squared, which equals 125 x cubed over x squared. This is not the final answer because we still have x above and x down. Remember the second rule, which is the quotient or the division rule. Zina will support us by jumping one step, so she will use subtraction. She will subtract the powers. It will become x3 minus 2, which equals 125 x to the power of 1, which we can eliminate it or don't write it. The fourth one is very simple. Again, whatever the value inside the bracket is, if it is raised to power 0, you can quickly figure it out that this answer should be always 1 directly. Whatever the number is raised to 0 is always 1. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please wait for the second one that will show you more details and more questions, exercises about exponents and how we can use them in equations. Thank you for watching. See you next time.